Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to talk a little bit about, Nintendo DS games coming to the Nintendo Switch. Let me go ahead and kill the air conditioning there. Anyways, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. But yeah, let's get down right into this. There's been a lot of interesting ports recently for the Nintendo Switch, including a lot of older dual screen games that were really stuck on the DS and we didn't know if they were going to ever show up. And we've had a lot of that happening recently. In fact, we've had, for example, the most recent thing has been Castlevania Dominus Collection, which is Donisaro, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. Or Ecclesia? Like something like that. But yeah, we've had a lot of stuff recently that's come out and just it's been released. It's kind of nice to see. I really enjoy the fact that this is happening. We've had stuff like Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent, Touch Detective 1 and 2, Trace Memory, Dementium, Ghost Trick, The World Ends With You. We've had all 4 Nintendo DS Phoenix Wright games, plus the 2 3DS games, plus Ace Attorney Investigations, and Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We've had Etrian Odyssey 1, 2, and 3 come out, and it's been fantastic. But I think that there's some stuff that still needs to come to the Nintendo Switch, or at least it should. I mean, we've even gotten some ports and re-releases of stuff like, say, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon or Luigi's Mansion 2. We've had a lot of interesting 3DS and DS stuff, but I'm going to focus specifically on DS games that should come to the Nintendo Switch someday. I'd like it. It'd be kind of great. And it's a missed opportunity if they don't. That said, I'm going to give my opinion on why these will work and how likely I think they're going to be. So let's take these ones here that have been over there and moved on. Let's move them on over here. Just move them over there. Boop, 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 boop. Just casually move them aside. There you go. And let's start with the first 3 games that I think Nintendo should probably release these ones, and this would be, let's bring it over here, Hotel Dusk, Last Window, and Again. Now, Trace Memory was redone, and that's a classic game from Sing. Hotel Dusk, in 2015, the European-only sequel to it, Last Window, The Secret of Cape West, and Again, which is kind of a spiritual successor to that series, and then released by Tecmo. But yeah, these 3 are the same company that put out Another Code, and another code game that was on the Wii. So it's Sing, and since Trace Memory or Another Code was able to get released over here, and to get a nice little re-release, I'd love to see Hotel Dusk, Last Window, and Again get that same treatment. It's likely that we might just get these 2 as a remake, and that'd be fine, especially considering that Nintendo seems very open to the idea of releasing a lot of these older detective games. But I really do feel like we should get all 3. So that's the first ones I'd like to see. Okay, let's move that up here. The next ones I'd like to see come over to the Nintendo Switch. Grab it over here. And this is kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. Now, you are going to need to do some things with how they look. I'm thinking just maybe some borders. But yeah, Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure. Sega, these are stuck on the Nintendo Switch. On the Nintendo DS right now, right? And I think there's one on 3DS. But yeah, why not bring these over as their own little 2-pack, as their own little thing? Just put some borders, and that's fine. There's not a lot of touch stuff for it, and they could do what they did with, like, say, the Castlevania games, where if you're in portable mode, you can use the touchscreen, or if you're on the main screen, you can use either the right stick or button presses. And I think that would just solve kind of the issues that these would have. Now they've got like a unusual style where you've got where the screen technically would be like this, but you gotta if you just move it a little bit, or even have it so that you can put the system into tape mode, that would work fine too. Or just, put something here, like just put some different little ways to, just some different display options. That's perfectly doable, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. Now, let's see. Another thing, and this is one I'm a little surprised hasn't happened yet as well. Devil Survivor 2, and Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey. These ones from Atlas, Atlas loves to port older Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games to new systems. So the fact that 4 and these have not come to the Nintendo Switch or other modern consoles is a sad foresight. Come on, just do it. They don't really need to be dual screen, but they could benefit from, re-releases and a little bit of polish here and there. We'd like that. We'd like these two as their own little collection, and then this by itself. But yeah, remakes of those would be great. Okay, let's add that on there. Now, seeing that we have all those Ace Attorney games, it is shocking and nearly criminal to me that we don't have these games on the Nintendo Switch. I know that we're supposed to get a new Professor Layton, and we had that Professor Layton game with, like, I guess his daughter or so. I forgot. I have it, and I haven't really played it. But yeah, we have the first 3 Professor Layton games are an amazing trilogy, and they need and deserve to be, well, played. And there's not a lot. There's not a lot here, like touchscreen wise, that you can't replace with like motion controls or with button presses. And I kind of feel that they're doing this series a disservice by not doing that. Come on, Level 5. I know you need money, and you don't have anything huge like Yokai Watch anymore. But you know what? These, port them. Make some quick money. Port them over to modern consoles. We'd like that. And not just the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch successor. But yeah, let's move that over here. Another one that I think is kind of a little odd that we're not seeing is, we have Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. And we're getting re-releases of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. So, why are these stuck on the Nintendo DS? That's Dragon Quest 4, 5, 6, and 9. Well, we don't need to care too much about that, but 4, 5, and 6, they already have really nice looking graphics in there. Just polish those up a bit and just pop them up there. I think it's doable. Definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and add those into that. By the way, thank you for sitting through this long and rambling video. It's really just me gushing a little bit about games that aren't on the Nintendo Switch, but darn well should be. Speaking of which, I will always advocate for 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. This game is still not on the Nintendo Switch. None of the last No Escape games are. I'm like, Virtue's Last Reward, none of those are. All 3 of those should be. Come on, that's it. It just makes sense, and there's nothing to prevent them from doing that other than that they just haven't been done. They're on other modern systems. Why not? Just do it, Axis. Every time there's a trade show or whatnot, I hope that they'll announce these, and they never do. I think Hollow Knight Silksong will come out before this does, and that's a real shame, because these are fantastic, and people should play them. Anywho, let's go back here. I've got a whole bunch here that I'm just going to rapid fire go through, and my reasoning why. I think Electroplankton and 100 Classic Books need to be revived because Nintendo's music toys are fantastic, and we need those. Why not? 100 Classic Books because, hey, I've got the Nintendo Switch with me anyway, so why not read stuff on it? And honestly, that was I felt like this is super underappreciated. They could actually like update it a bit, maybe like 150 classic books, like a lot of public domain stuff. You just put a couple of warnings, and then you also maybe put in narration or something. Like, yeah, they could do some stuff with that. And electroplankton is awesome, and I really feel like should this needs to be revived. Electroplankton certainly does need to be revived. It's fantastic, and I feel like they could do more with that. Another thing that they should put onto Nintendo Switch, Contact. This is another Atlas thing. A lot of this is just port begging, Marvelous and Atlas. But yeah, there's so many quirky RPGs out there for the Nintendo Switch. We have Earthbound, we have Earthbound Beginnings, and if you can understand Japanese, there is Mother 3's on there. But you also have all those little spin-off things like Moon or Deltarune or Undertale. So why not? Contact is another game from that stuff where it's just a quirky little RPG, super easy to put out there. I think just do it. Wouldn't hurt anybody. Speaking of stuff that wouldn't hurt anybody, and would only make me happy, is Contra 4. This is a fantastic game, and it really needs, like, what they should do is Konami should have a version of this where you've got it in its original aspect ratio, and then a extended version specifically to like some Contra collection. I think there's a few Contra stuff they're missing, like the Game Boy version of Contra 3. And let's see, trying to think, there might be a couple other things they could put onto another Contra collection. Considering that, like, right now they've got almost everything but Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood are not on the Nintendo Switch. But most all the really great, a lot of the really great Castlevania stuff already is. Now again, more port begging, Solo to Robo, Red the Hunter. A lot of the dual screen stuff in this is more or less just menus. This in nostalgia would be great. And I kind of feel like there should be a look into stuff like Tales Concerto and such. I mean, I think that we're due for a Tales Concerto remaster. And that would be a great way to like also hype up Solo to Robo. Now, looking at the Nintendo IPs, why don't they put out New Super Mario Brothers and Super Princess Peach on the Nintendo Switch? I mean, they could put New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and Super Princess Peach as its own little thing. Just be like, here you go, here's 4 of these games, one little pack, easy peasy, mac and cheesy, that type of thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's just me ranting a little bit about games I feel should be ported over to Nintendo Switch. And since we now have all 3 Nintendo DS Castlevania games, and it's amazing. In fact, that just gave me some hope. I mean, I'm looking at this, and we have pretty much all of Ace Attorney, including the one Ace Attorney Investigations game that we didn't get, available on the Switch. So I hope somebody, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I think that once Dragon Quest 2 and 3 come out, like 3, 2, and 1, sorry, 3, 1, and 2 come out, the HD stuff, I think they will move on to 4, 5, and 6, and they already have 3D versions of them already. So I kind of feel like this is inevitable. If Level 5 wants to actually survive, they'll put these out. I heard a rumor that we were going to get Professor Layton, The Curious Village in a remake, but I never heard any more about it. It just kind of disappeared like that Suikoden 1 and 2 compilation, which recently resurfaced, so I'm like, oh good. As for Hotel Dusk and Last Window, I think that one, Another Code didn't sell amazingly, but Nintendo doesn't seem to be motivated by sales when it comes to some of these franchises, particularly like the Famicom Detective Club. They're just making the game because they're like, we want to make this. And I think that's great. I'd like them to do something with Hotel Dusk and Last Window. At least, those would be great. As for Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure, Sega, you're walking away from money at that point. Think about it. I mean, there's also the 3DS games, specifically, I think are related to Rush, and just do it. Just put like, or make a little thing where it's like Sonic Rush Adventure, Sonic Advance 1, 2, 3, and the Sonic that was on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Just put them all together in some little compilation. Pop that out there for 20 to 30 bucks, and people like myself would be like, yes, and pre-order it. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Out of these games here, which ones would you like to see come to the Nintendo Switch next, or to the Nintendo Switch successor, which hopefully will just be backwards compatible, so I'll never, I won't have to like rebuy a bunch of stuff. That would be the worst. I mean, I would put off, like, if the Nintendo Switch successor were not backwards compatible, I don't think it's a day one purchase at that point. It really isn't, because backwards compatibility is extremely important. Even if we're just digital backwards compatibility, that would be fine. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that thumbs up, that share button, that subscribe button. Ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. And until next video comes out, you are now caught up.
Morning, Maya.